The clouds take fast, but my soul feels slow. Thoughts collide like rivers that overflow. Doubt creeps in whispers, but I won't cave. Truth breaks chains and the weak are made brave. Every heartbeat is a battleground. Every thought's a chance to turn around. Renew my mind right now, right here. Truth's the light that makes it clear. Every second sacred, divine God. Renew my mind in real time. I see the lies they disguise as gold. The world sells stories that leave me cold. But I'm not buying, I'm built to rise. Faith rewrites the script with open skies. Reset, reboot, let the spirit move. Delete the doubt, install the truth. Thoughts align, my heart's refined. Lord, you're the coder, renew my mind. My mind, right now, right here. Truth's the light that makes it clear. Every second sacred, divine God. Renew my mind in real time. I see the lies they disguise as gold. The world sells stories that leave me cold. But I'm not buying, I'm built to rise. Faith rewrites the script with open skies. Renew my mind right now, right here. Truth's the light that makes it clear. Every second sacred, divine God. Renew my mind in real time.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Renewing Your Mind in Real Time, in prime time. All right. Good evening again. I hope everybody is doing well. My mic says it's on, but ain't nobody popped on yet. So I don't know if anybody can hear me, but when you do come on, please let me know if you can hear me. I need to text some of my admin friends and people to see if they can pop on to at least make sure that I am being heard. So let me just text someone here really quick. If you can hear me live. Yep, just let me know if you can hear me live when you do come on. I am streaming to Facebook as well as YouTube. Excuse me. I'm going to be talking about tonight, not by bread alone. It's going to be a little bit of the 1 year journey so far, living this bread-free life. And baby, I love it on this side. I love living the bread-free life. It is so much freedom over here. I do have a little something. Honey, you know when the weather change, how your throat be doing something different from what you had previously observed. Hey, my brother Ronnie, let me know if you can hear me okay. All right, anybody that comes on, I'm assuming that you can, but you know what happens when you assume. You can hear me? All right, my brother and classmate Ronnie Patrick said he can hear me okay. So I'm good to go. I'm good to go. Excuse me if my throat sounds a little dry. Cause y'all, it's gonna be winter. Okay. Listen, it happens this time every year. It's time to stop freaking out about it. It's getting ready to snow. As a matter of fact, we're supposed to have a little bit of a preview this coming up weekend, like tomorrow. Between tomorrow and Sunday, we're gonna see the snow flying again. So buckle up, buttercup. is winning. All right, let me get one more sip so I can get going on it. Okay, listen, I'm gonna talk just a little bit about my my 1 year no bread life. No bread, no pasta, no flour, no rice, no pot. Did I say no pasta? No sweets, no cookies, nothing artificial. I do use stevia as a sweetener, but other than that, nothing else. And I love it. I love it on this side. And I wanted to share some stuff with you, especially the stuff that's damaging to our bodies. I think as we all get older and mature, okay, we just gonna have to start facing some facts. uh our bones ain't made out of gristle like they used to be. Okay, we don't bounce back like we used to. We bounce and we crash and we need to go to the hospital. Okay, so let's just face the facts. I'm opening up my door. Don't get excited. I'm gonna open up my door. So don't get excited and realize that we're living in a different kind of world. As a matter of fact, a lot of the stuff that is in our American US of A products is not in any other products in the world. It's definitely not in Europe, in the UK. It's at the same place. Anyway, it ain't in other places, but it's in our American products. And we have a lot of sicknesses and diseases because of it. Let's see, Miss Sheila, she popped up on YouTube. And yeah, so let's just get going. So, not by bread alone, of course, it's going, is that scripture is Matthew 4, chapter Matthew chapter number 4, verse number 4. It was during the temptation. Satan had the audacity to tempt Jesus when Jesus was yeah, it's not early in the morning, but I'm trying to get my lips together. Okay, let's try this again. Satan tempted Jesus with bread. Jesus was hungry, okay? And so he tempted Jesus by telling him, now, if you be the Son of God, turn these stone into bread. And Jesus said, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. That also comes from Deuteronomy chapter number 8, I believe, around verse number 2 or 3 up in there, when the children of Israel were out in the wilderness and God caused them to hunger, to prove to them that you can't live by bread alone, but you have to live by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. So, by me not eating bread products anymore, I figured that it would be very good to talk about it. Also, you guys can ask any questions that you might have. Now, I'm not, excuse me, I'm just going to be free. Okay, I'm not a stranger to the weight loss journey process, blah, blah, blah. Been fighting it and losing. Been getting my butt beat up by the scale for a long time. But I have never really, I think up until this point, really wanted to give up the stuff that I really wanted. So it was about me wanting to lose weight, but not wanting to give up the food. So that's kind of an oxymoron. Yeah, I wanted to lose weight, wanted to feel great, but I didn't want to give up the food. I wanted to keep all of the stuff. And so God let me keep it. And he said, hey, but you're not going to sustain the success. So I could never sustain the success, even had weight loss surgery, baby. And I don't regret that. That was a wonderful journey too. But even in that, wanted the weight loss, but wanted to keep all of the food too. And that's just not how it works. Not in the kingdom. It's not of the kingdom. So anyway, this last go round of real serious conversations and chats with the Lord about my health, because I could feel the deteriorate. My health was getting bad, okay? And I knew it. Miss Sheila, she already in YouTube giving the nuggets, saying you can't serve two masters. You can't serve God and the bread and all of the stuff that you want to. I hear you, Miss Sheila, but that was where I was for real. Anyway, this last go round, um, just having some conversations with the Lord, and I wanted to be free. And that was the difference this time, Brother Ronnie. I wanted to be free. I just didn't want to lose weight. I wanted to be free from the paranoia. I wanted to be free from the torment, because having to deal with this for so long over my life, it was tormenting to me, and I wanted to be free of the torment of it all. And so, conversating with the Lord, praying and everything, and God asking me, what is it that I was really willing to give up in order to be free? And I said, all of it. And He said, okay. And He gave me the list. And I was like, when He gave me the list, I was like, okay. I stopped hesitating. I stopped pretending like I could really handle these products. And I knew just from the past that this had nothing to do with willpower. And that's what I really want to convey to people tonight, and everybody who will watch this in replay. It's not that you don't have a strong enough will to do it, it's something physiological that's happening in your body when you eat these products. I'm going to share a few of the things of the preservatives that are in these products, and it flips on a triggering switch that really causes us to be addicted to certain products. And so it was at one point where you would just figure, I just need to be strong enough. I just need to, my willpower need to be strong enough. And it had nothing to do with my willpower. It was physiological, it was psychological also, because what happened in my physical body flipped a switch in my mental health. And I would notice, and you guys can testify to this also, when I would eat certain products, mentally I wasn't well. It was like I would actually black out eating sugar. Especially sugar is highly addictive. I did a chat on sugar a few months ago, but I would eat sugar and I would black out, and I wouldn't come to until everything that I had on my plate, or every piece of cake, or whatever it was, every cookie in the bag was gone. And it's like I didn't notice that it was gone until it was gone. And then just the crash that would happen in my body, it was just horrific. It was tormenting. And so I had to face the facts that there was some things physiologically that my body could not handle. And that was a rude awakening, because I, like, there again, it's not willpower, but it's really physiological. Okay, so when the Lord started giving me this list of the things that I knew it, and that's just it. You know personally the things you take issue with, the things that you don't eat well, the things that you can't have a little bit of. And also, there was another video that I'll show at a later date that really shows that it is highly palatable on purpose to keep you going back after these food items. So it ain't you. It's actually physiological. They have psychologists, they have nutritionists, they have all these people on their side to make sure that we get addicted to food, that we get addicted to certain products. So let me just deal with the bread today, okay? So, and I want to encourage you to look at your life and say, okay, and this is it. The holidays are coming, but you know what? We always find a reason to eat. So the holidays are actually no different. But this is going to be a stark reality, and really telling the truth to yourself. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about bread products. And the only bread that's really super natural bread is what's called sprouted bread. And that would be like Ezekiel bread, where this bread is kept in coolers. I mean, you have to get it from the cooler section, and you have to keep it refrigerated, because it will start to sprout and grow, because it's sprouted and it's seeded. That's it. Other than that, everything else on the shelf is manufactured in such a way to have a long shelf life. And you just raise your hand and testify with me and let me know if I am the only one that really noticed. I would say maybe about a year or so ago that bread doesn't spoil. Bread does not mold anymore. Bread doesn't mold. And they're putting preservatives in the bread to make sure it has a longer shelf life. So, if whatever they're putting in the bread and it's causing the bread not to mold anymore, all of those chemicals are going into our bodies. And then we're wondering why we're gassy, we're bloated, we feel sick, we're dizzy. It's because of the chemicals. They're putting chemicals in our food products in the bread. So let me go over the bread. So bread products can negatively affect your body. And this is information that I got online. So you can look it up. And I looked up the four main preservatives that they're putting in bread. And it's just gonna, honey, it's gonna blow you. It's gonna it might lay your edges down. Wait, let me get it. Wait, hold up. Oh my goodness. I only got a little bit of water left, so I gotta be done by the time this little water is done. Okay, listen, this gonna lay your edges down, baby. All right. So, bread products can negatively affect our bodies through increased risk of type 2 diabetes. We know that, okay? Type 2 diabetes. And type 2 diabetes, if it's not caught and if it's not dealt with aggressively, will turn into type 1 diabetes. They don't mention type 1 diabetes because it automatically goes into type 1 diabetes. And we all know somebody, or we have somebody in our family, or we might be dealing with diabetes ourselves. But through good nutrition, through prayer, through fasting, really, that can be turned around. But the first place it starts is right here in recognizing, you know what? I don't do this stuff well. So it can negatively affect our bodies because of the increased risk of diabetes, potential for fatty liver. I had fatty liver, the blood sugar spikes that happen, also with refined white bread. Now, wheat bread is white bread turned brown. Wheat bread ain't that different. So you can't say, oh, well, I do multi-grain bread. No, if it's not sprouted. And listen, this stuff is more expensive because it is better for your health. Let me tell you what, the cheap stuff that treats your health badly will always be cheap. Cheap produces cheap. Cheap produces cheap, and it produces harshness in your body. So now I'm not talking about how it used to be. I'm talking about how it is right now. So if you're going and you spending $1.25 at the dollar store for a loaf of bread, your body gonna be in for it. And I know we're in some hard economic times. I know that. But even our children are suffering because of a lot of the chemicals that are in these products. Okay. So, all right, some people may experience digestive issues like bloating. I just mentioned that due to gluten and other sensitivities, certain additives like high fructose corn syrup, not just regular sugar, but high fructose corn syrup. These are manufactured sweeteners, and salt can have an increased health risk. Okay, so we know about the blood sugar spikes. And this is not just bread. This is I say anything white. We're talking about bread, we're talking about uh pasta, um floured products, sugar, rice, all of those things have the same effect. It does the exact same thing in our bodies. Okay. It will spike your blood sugar, number one. You get an increased risk of diabetes. Your liver health will begin to be affected by it. Digestive health. Let me know if you dealt with a lot of bloating after you would eat something highly palatable, cake, sugar, pasta, you would feel bloated, really gassy, or it would come on overnight. You would be fine at that time, but then overnight you would wake up bloated. You would wake up really foggy headed, okay? Digestive issues. Excuse me while I get my I think other parts is ready to go to bed. This essence, my essence is something tonight. I don't know. I wore my retainer last night, and my S's are extra essy. Wait a minute, honey. My S's are extra essy. S. Okay. I'm gonna get to these chemicals in a minute. All right. Also, cramping, gluten sensitivity, and you can have an intolerance to gluten, celiac disease, and other digestive issues. Who done had digestive issues after eating a bunch of pasta or a bunch of bread? And they bring out the bread basket at the restaurant, and honey, you can't help yourself. And it's true. And I'm gonna tell you some of the chemicals that are in the bread. So, ingredients and additives that they put in there, of course, we have enriched flour, not regular flour, not the flour that it just used to be back in the day, enriched flour. So, they put artificial synthetic B vitamins in it, like folic acid, and it enriches the flour and it has a longer shelf life also. But it gets into the bloodstream quicker, and it spikes your blood sugar a lot quicker. Yep, brother Ronnie put in there about Ezekiel bread being $8 a loaf, but it's so much better for you. It is really good for you if you want to eat bread. I'm gonna get some of that next time. I think we have some at I don't know if there's some at Myers. Not Myers. Myers, maybe. I'm not sure. Myers or Walmart, but I know at Whole Foods definitely, and at Apple Valley Market maybe. Here where we are, I'm gonna take a look and I'm gonna get some. Okay, now you have all right. So you have the synthetic vitamins going in the flour. You have the added sugar and the fats. Some commercial breads, even whole wheat varieties, add a lot of sugar and the high fructose corn syrup and other additives, trans fats that also affects your body. Yeah, the bloating is just something. Preservatives and additives. Bread makers put preservatives, additives, and other commercial products, other commercial chemicals that are messing with your gut health. That's why we be so bloated. And as a matter of fact, when I started the detox off of bread, the initial weight loss was really quick because of the inflammation leaving my body. And I found out a lot of the weight that I had on my body wasn't fat, it was inflammation. Our bodies are swollen, our bodies are inflamed, and it's because of these products. And it will give an addiction like response. So it causes neurological effects in our bodies also. High glycemic index breads can trigger a reward response in the brain that is linked to cravings and addictions similar to substance abuse. That's why people gravitate toward highly palatable food items, even during the holidays. And like I said, the holidays are coming up. There's a great alternative to your favorite dish. Or be aware of what it is that you're taking in, because when you start, it flips a switch. So Brother Ronnie, thank you so much. He said both Myers and Walmart has it, so I'm gonna get me a loaf tomorrow. I'm gonna get me a loaf tomorrow, because I've been wanting some type of bread product, but it has to be sprouted. It has to be, if you plant a slice of Ezekiel bread, you're gonna get a plant that's living. It's living bread, it's living substance, and we should have things that are living going into our bodies. All right, so also pesticides, residue, wheat-based products contain pesticides. It's like it's not until you really slow down and start to really think about what you're putting in your body that you're like, I'm eating what? Pesticides, honey. Yes. And increase mental health risk. Says there's a correlation between celiac disease and an increased risk of depression and psychosis. For some, antibodies to gluten have been found more frequently in those with autism. There are some studies now of parents who have children on the autism spectrum. When they take and shift their children's diet, they get away from the food colors, they get away from all of the artificial things, and also some studies linked to Alzheimer's, that when the caregiver shifted to a natural based diet, the person gets better. Are they cured? Not necessarily, but are they better? Absolutely. And they can actually begin a more stable, functioning life just because of how they eat, just because of knowing that they take all of this poison out of their diets. And then, of course, we have to tell the truth and wonder what it is that the kids are eating at home. They're eating a lot of artificial colored stuff. They're eating the Takis, they're eating Doritos, they're eating junk, and then their little systems can't handle it. If our systems can't handle it, we know that theirs can't handle it. And then they're bouncing off the walls. We just came out of Halloween. All of that artificial color, all of the artificial, the sweetener, the sugar, the products. Yeah. Yeah, it should be a wake up call. And we should really think again. Now, for me, in my particular journey, it took about 2 weeks to detox. But honey, that 2 weeks was something else. The 2 weeks was I was dreaming about cake, dreaming about cookies, dreaming about candy. It was a rough 2 weeks. Headaches, uh, some nausea. The temptation was really strong. And after like day number 11, it's like I could really feel my body coming to a normal place. By the time I hit day number 14, I didn't want any of it anymore. And it's like I really didn't realize how hung up on it I was until I wasn't eating it. And then I got to see it was a real issue. The bread products was an issue. Now, let me get into some information that I found. Put my iPad over here. We're going to talk about 4 chemicals, 4 additives, really quick, that they put into our bread products and their side effects, okay? So the first one, and these are preservatives. These are the reasons why the bread doesn't mold anymore. Have you noticed that? And it's like a sponge. It's like it doesn't rot. And also other products. There's some vegetables that don't rot anymore. You could keep a head of lettuce in your refrigerator for 2 months and it doesn't change at all. But the bag lettuce, interestingly enough, the bag lettuce does rot. But a regular head of lettuce, why? Because they spray it before they even pull it, and they spray it, of course, when it's still in its growing state to preserve it. But these are artificial preservatives. Maybe God didn't want that stuff to be preserved like that, right? Right. Let's get going with it. Calcium protonate. Calcium protonate. All right. So that's the first thing. Calcium protonate is a food preservative commonly used in bread, cookies, and other baked goods, while generally considered safe, or so they claim. These are powders, these are chemicals. Some potential health side effects have been reported. Gastrointestinal upset. Some individuals may experience stomach pain, bloating, or diarrhea after consuming food containing this product. Headaches. In rare occasions, this product may trigger headaches and migraines. Okay. Allergic reactions. People with allergies to this chemical may experience skin rashes, hives, or difficulty breathing. As a matter of fact, one of the, I believe, is psoriasis and eczema. There was a young lady, I saw a video of hers, and she just had this horrible outbreak of eczema. And the her doctor told her, we're going to do a test on you to see what you're allergic to. And she was allergic to every one of these particular products. And when she took those products out of her diet, the eczema went down like 50, 60%. So that would be very interesting to the guys who are suffering with these different skin ailments to see, is it because of what I'm eating that's making it worse? Or that's even triggering an outbreak. Okay. Think about that. Think about your little kids, your grandkids, and stuff too that deal with eczema. There's a lot of children dealing with eczema and psoriasis. Is it what they're eating? Even asthma, is it what they're eating that's triggering an allergic reaction in their bodies? Maybe talk to the doctor and say, hey, can we have an allergy test? Can they be tested to see what food products they're allergic to? Okay? That might just be a clue to you. Of course, we know the increased risk of obesity and diabetes. We know that. Studies in animals and people have shown and have suggested that this chemical may increase the risk of obesity and diabetes. Okay? So, there again, a lot of inflammation, behavioral challenges or behavioral changes. Some reports suggest that this product may cause behavioral changes in children, such as hyperactivity and irritability. All right, who heard that? Hyperactivity and irritability. How are the kids after they've had a sugar dump? Hyperactive. How are they after they come down off of the sugar? Irritable. Can't listen. What are they eating for lunch? What are they eating for breakfast? What are they eating at home? A bunch of Takis, a bunch of processed sandwich meats, a bunch of McDonald's. What are they eating? What are they eating? And if these products make us feel like that, How do we think they make the kids feel? And the kids can't express it. Okay, let's get to this next one. This next one is potassium sorbate. Potassium sorbate, allergic reaction in cases. We have a genotoxicity. Studies have suggested that potassium sorbate may be genotoxic, meaning it can damage DNA. Is anybody listening to me? Because some of this stuff, and we're wondering what's going on with people. Why it seems like so many people have gone off the deep end all of a sudden. Chromosomal damage. Studies in animals have shown that potassium sorbate can cause chromosomal damage at high concentrations. Other effects: increased nasal irritation, damage to liver in high doses, and increased inflammation. That's in the bread, y'all. It's not like what our grandma Nam used to make, not even what our mama Nam used to make. It wasn't just flour, a little oil, and some baking soda, a baking powder. It wasn't Clabber Girl. This ain't Clabber Girl. These are poisons. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Sorbic acid. Sorbic acid. Sorbic acid produce skin and respiratory irritation, gastrointestinal upset, and allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. Sorbic acid side effects: skin and eye irritation, respiratory issues, digestive upset, allergic reactions, hyperactivity, intestinal issues, and kidney stones. Is anybody still here? Because I'm flabbergasted. I'm like, no wonder I felt awful. No wonder I felt awful. And for us ladies, if we're going through menopause and we're taking in all of this stuff on top of that, no wonder we feel awful. Aren't you ready for the last one? The last one I'm going to share. All right, this is acetic acid. Acetic acid. These are products in low concentration. Now, this acetic acid is found in low concentration in vinegar and it's harmless, but in higher concentration, it causes issues throughout the body: irritation to the eyes and nose, coughing, chest tightness, difficulty breathing, headaches, fever, confusion, inflammation of the airways. Your bronchial tubes will get inflamed, accumulation of fluid in the lungs. And they're putting that in the bread. They're putting it in the bread. They're putting it in the sugar. They're putting it in the cookies. They're putting it in the cake. You know, the cake we cut up. They're putting it in the desserts. They're putting these chemicals in there. And it attacks our immune system. It damages our circulatory system. It causes us to be addicted, and we end up being sick. And I heard somebody say it, which I think is very interesting. She said, maybe it really isn't cold and flu season at all. Maybe it's our immune system so under attack because of what we've been eating. And it is our body's response in fighting back. And it's not really about cold and flu, it's about our bodies fighting now because of all of these chemicals that I just mentioned. And there's a lot more in there. We have the food coloring, we have the salt, we have the sugar, we have the oil, and all of that in all of the food that we're eating and how it is attacking our bodies. And then when we come out from an eating occasion, how we slump, how we immediately want to go to sleep. We immediately want to go to sleep because our body is attempting to recover. You don't get sleepy. Your body goes into a recovery mode, trying to recover because of all of the chemicals that it now has to fight in the attempt to get out of your body, to flush it out of your body. So this no bread, not by bread alone journey, walk, life, I won't trade it because after I eat now, I on purpose get up and move because I know my body needs to move. And this is really critical too. And I want you to remember your body, our bodies was designed to digest food in an upright position, not laying down. But that's the thing you want to do after you eat, especially after you eat something heavy. Why? Because now your body goes, your organs go into this override mode, trying to take care of all of the food, not just all of the food, but all of the chemicals in the food. Our organs are overtaxed, our kidneys, our pancreas. Your pancreas cannot produce enough insulin to balance your blood sugar. And that's where the blood sugar issue starts coming in at with diabetes. Your pancreas is overworked all the time. One of the things that I do is I intermittent fast every day. I have an eating window and I cut it off after that. I do not eat after, especially after 8 o'clock, but after 7 o'clock, I don't eat anything. I might drink a little bit of water. I might have a little diet 7 Up. But other than that, I don't eat after 7 o'clock. Why? Because your body needs time to digest the food that it's eaten during the day. And also, we've always heard don't eat and lay down. Well, this is why, because your body was designed to digest food in an upright position just by where your organs are placed. So if you lay down, now your body has to fight against gravity to digest the food that you ate. And you feel sick when you get up in the morning because your body has been in the wrong position to digest food. Is that true? Come on, tell the truth. Is that true? Don't you feel a lot worse in the morning if you eat something heavy? We're not talking about eating an apple. We ain't eating no apple and no carrots. We're eating full meals at 8 and 9 o'clock at night. And we need at least 3 to 4 hours after we eat before we even think about laying down. So your body really needs that time to kind of go into a passive digestive mode. So when you do lay down, you don't get all this acid reflux, you don't get all this heartburn. That's why you get heartburn. That's why you get acid reflux, because your body is supposed to be upright and gravity helps your body digest the food. Does that make sense? I hope so. So, as I'm continuing to chat and kind of bringing it to a close, if you got any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. I didn't plan to be on very long. Brother Ronnie said that's true. And you feel worse in the morning, and you're like, we're not craving apples late at night or carrots. That's not the issue. It's the full course meals. We're getting chicken, we're getting mashed potatoes, we're just getting all this highly toxic filled foods and eating. And I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus because, baby, honey, last July, I was rolling up to the Burger King like late night to get the full Whopper extra heavy make. I mean, French fries, onion rings, chocolate shake, eat all of that stuff, and not even a good 2 hours later go to bed and would wake up feeling absolutely horrible. Then I try to play the game like, I don't know what I need to do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yep. So if you got any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. I'm going to be ending this here in a little bit. You go back and rewatch it or do your own research. That's even better. Do your own research. One of my wake up calls, um, was it? No, it was last year. It was last year. And my doctor, she was like, I'm gonna have to put you on the Ozempic shot. I said, oh no, you're not. She came to her wits end. She was like, well, what are we gonna do? She said, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna get my life together. I'm gonna get my life together because I'm tired. I said, I'm tired. I can't live like this. And as long as you have a say so, you need to say something. You need to say something and you need to say the right thing. And I'm like, there's only so many times that where God is going to give you a wake up call. And one time he told me, you may get a wake up call that you can't answer, or a wake up call that you answer too late. And by that time, your body is spiraling out of control and it's going down this avalanche hill that you can't do anything about it. So I decided to obey God. And he said, well, give it up. I said, show you right. But this time I wanted to give it up because I wanted to be free more than I wanted the food. Now, that didn't mean like that first 2 weeks that I didn't want it. I wanted all of it. But I wanted to be free more than I wanted the food. I wanted to be free more than I wanted the instant gratification. I wanted to be free more. And I wanted to be free so much that I really had to stop playing games. I had to look at myself long and hard in the mirror and say, Lacey, you have been playing this game where you wanted this, but you didn't want to give up the old life. Because I just thought it was unfair. And I would tell God that's not fair. I ain't smoking, I ain't drinking, I ain't partying, I ain't sleeping around. Why can't I have all the Oreos that I wanted? And he's like, this stuff is killing you. And like I said, we're getting ready to go into the holiday season. And we got to be aware. We really do. And I did not want to play the first of the year game anymore. That the first of the year, that all these bells and whistles and all this magic dust was going to come out of nowhere. And I was magically going to have all this motivation and all this drive to now really face my life. And it was just the beginning, it was just the beginning. And now being able to face all of these other things, face and deal with the spirit of fear that I dealt with, face and deal with um, just anger, loneliness, bitterness. And yes, God used this to clear up my head enough so that I could see everything else. Because I was an emotional eater. That's the first thing. And I still feel that urge. But now I want to eat his word. Now I want to eat his presence. Now I want to go for a walk instead of grabbing a bag of chips or something and stuffing it in my mouth so that I don't have to deal with what I'm feeling. And it might be different for you, but you could take this same scenario and use it for your particular situation. And we're getting ready to go into the holidays. We know there's going to be more than enough stress, more than enough gatherings, more than enough occasions to consume all that you want. Everything is going on sale. There's more than enough. I know that there's issues with SNAP benefits and all of that stuff. I know that. But you know what? To be honest with you, we get what we want. That's just the truth. We do. And I'm not talking about those who are strained, those who are having serious financial issues. I'm talking about the regular folks. I'm talking about us. We really get what we want. So my brother putting in there that Ezekiel bread is $8 a loaf don't mean that much. And we can cry that it's expensive, but I was about to go into the hospital, y'all. How much more expensive could that get? And Brother Ronnie is right. The Lord will keep you if you want to be kept. The Lord will help you if you want to be helped. But He's not going to force you. He's not going to force any of us. He's not. And guess what? He ain't taking the taste out your mouth because He didn't put it there. I've heard people say, Lord, take the taste out my mouth. He's like, I'm not doing that. I didn't put it there. You did that. Yeah, that's something. He doesn't have to, especially when we know we really don't want it taken out. And that's what I had to face. That did I really want to be free? And at one point in my life, I just wanted what I wanted. I didn't want to give it up. I wanted, this is good. I wanted the results of giving it up without giving it up. Yeah. I wanted the results of giving it up, but I didn't want to give it up because it was good. Oh, baby, I ain't telling you the stuff ain't good. It's good. But the after effects, man, there just came a point I was like, this ain't worth it. I feel awful. And then my blood work and the doctor looking at me, showing me charts. I'm looking at my own chart max and looking at the how the scales going and all of that, and the charts going. And they say, okay, well, this is what you're headed to. This is what you're headed to. I don't know. This is what you're headed to. And I finally had to say, all right, let me quit playing. Yeah. So this might be a wake-up call for you, wherever it is. And it doesn't matter your weight or your size. It has everything to do with what's going on in you biologically, physiologically, and psychologically, because your body is affected in those three places with the stuff that you put into your body. And I wanted to share that with you. You're more than welcome to ask any questions in the comments or rewatch this or send it to somebody that you know that it might help. That's really my desire. Not to throw anybody under the bus because I'm the first one in line, baby. Trust me. And the detriment that's happening in our communities because of diabetes, because of heart disease, high blood pressure. I go to the doctor in a couple of days, as a matter of fact. And I'm really looking forward to a good report concerning my blood pressure and the greatest possibility of actually being taken off of blood pressure medicine after 31 years. I've been on blood pressure medicine for 31 years. And it's a shame. That's a shame. That really is. It's a blessing and it's a shame all at the same time that I've taken blood pressure medicine that long. And I knew how to play the game with that. I knew how to take more than one blood pressure pill when I was eating something especially heavy. But I don't want to do it anymore. So I hope this has helped you. Thank you, Brother Ronnie, for your notes and your nuggets. I see my other sweet sisters and friends on here. We got some folks on here from YouTube, and just keep taking a good look at yourself and deciding what it is you need to do for your health, because this is it. You ain't gonna get another pair of lungs. You ain't gonna get another pancreas. If you have to have a transplant, honey, that's gonna be somebody else's. And there's no guarantee it's going to work well in your body. And we know that. And we know stuff that we have no control over. But 99% of the stuff, it's all on us. And we know it. So take some time out this weekend, really think about it, and decide if you want to go bread free too, or white free. That's what I call it. No pasta, no sugar, no flour, no rice, no bread, no cakes, no cookies. But there are good sweet alternatives, though. Let me let you know. Sweet alternatives that satisfy that sweet tooth and that has you feeling great too, without all of these chemicals, okay? All right. Well, I hope it helps you. I hope you pass it along. And I hope you be blessed and have an incredible weekend and an incredible holiday season. If I don't see you, but I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do a chat before the holidays, maybe. But anyway, be blessed and have a wonderful weekend. And thank you so much for joining me. And I appreciate you. Ask any questions you need to in the comments, and I will answer them. Okay. All righty. Have a good night.